EG's turn to ban. Radiant team ban. EG's turn to pick. Seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time.
Come back to Xiao.
Radiant team
Things are warming up here. Go.
Seconds remaining.
Fun and funky stuff from MP.
So first game of the day,
5
I think
seconds remaining. Reserve time.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, I want to see the fun.
Radiant
want to see
Do
some
you?
funny stuff.
Bad.
Is Dazzle first?
No,
Funky-ish.
that's Rose.
No, you can't say that. He's
He's
purple.
not.
Dude, he's purple now.
It's Rose.
No.
10 seconds remaining.
Anyways, I'm gonna tell you,
5
Rose.
seconds remaining.
Dazzle. He's gonna go Mana Boots and he's gonna Solar Crest.
Reserve time.
You're so wild with your predictions.
And you're gonna think, why would he ever do this? I will also strut for the rest of this goddamn tournament.
Whereas on the other side of things, things are a little bit normal. Very good.
EG's
Hey, that's you,
turn to pick.
Farms, any farm.
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
Hot in the earth.
Reserve time.
Silencer.
Radiant team ban.
The offlane or
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. EG's turn to ban.
Will help as well.
Seconds remaining. Radiant team ban.
Yeah.
oh yeah.
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time.
By the time it most part, we'd
Right.
like to.
EG's turn to ban.
Every player would have.
Ten seconds remaining.
Every like
5 seconds remaining.
Like a historic.
Reserve time. Radiant team.
yeah, and I'll use TI5 as an example. What? Well, I never played professionally.
Sure.
It wasn't like,
But you knew how to play it.
yeah, it wasn't on like
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve
Okay, but
time.
then- Rather that MP likes to. Does it say anything?
EG's turn to pick. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time.
the opportunity.
Silencers.
Core silencer. The hardest pick for you. Hey, options for them. I think the safe pick is just
Earth Spirit.
Radiant team pick. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time.
I was gonna play. I would play it.
Beastmaster.
EG's turn to pick.
Generally, yeah.
Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time.
I like MPs.
Invoker.
Radiant team ban.
seem convinced.
It's not particularly.
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
Not right now. And
EG's turn to ban.
could also go like.
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds
That was too
remaining.
good. All liquid, really.
EG's turn to pick.
It's all monkey camp.
Ten seconds remaining.
Slark.
Radiant team pick.
Slark is a hero. I think it would have been. They're confident.
10 seconds remaining.
Forced them to pick.
Dark Able.
5 seconds remaining. Reserve time.
But silencer can also. Yeah, which is pretty easy too. But the rock kick sounds nice.
10 seconds.
I'm sure Spirit will love that.
5 seconds remaining.
Shadow Fiend.
The
Shadow
armor.
Fiend.
The
Okay.
support Slarda. Yeah, I'm sure the.
Okay, so I think I don't see, can see in the back of my mind. So I kind of feel like
Okay. Fair. Yeah.
That.
Day 1 AG, I like it. Well, you heard it from the man. The man, he would know. Day 1 AG.
Prepare
Can they
for
stop
battle.
and remove? Against Team MP. Capitalist.
Very much, Paul, and the panel. Oh, you're there. Hello. Hello and welcome, everybody. We're here, EG versus NP. I'm Lyrical, as well as Cap. Cap, how you doing? How you feeling about the draft? You excited to get in?
I really agree with what our panel said. I liked NP's draft quite a bit. I think they set this up very nicely. I like the Beastmaster on NP. The thing is that NP, they bring a certain kind of playstyle. It's much slower than most of the other teams. You're talking about a region that they're the Greek, right? So it's a special kind of style, and I'm just not sure if each, I think in many ways they're forced to go this, but I don't know if the Slark was a good idea for them, because I see NP winning the laning phase here, being able to transition this well, and just having a really strong like 30-minute. I think they're just gonna ball into E pretty quickly, and I'm not sure if this Slark is gonna be.
30 seconds.
Well, I'm really
to
excited to
battle.
see how it goes as well. You mentioned the MSS Beastmaster, one of his most played heroes, and throughout the qualifiers, I think that it was their role, and it feels like it can still play the split pushing style with this guy and go for a lot of pickoffs, which it feels like with the Life Stealer and Fest Bombs, that's going to be very relevant. But he also gives you that vision that they're talking about. I think that the other big thing to watch out for is just how well these globals come out. Is it looks like there's going to be a contest for the room. MSS, turn away. Rangers up here in this top side. Are they going to aggro this out, you think?
I think it's the best idea for them at this point because they have this lifestealer early pickup against the tar. It's a laning phase counter, not necessarily an all-around game counter because open wounds obviously is and stuff like that. But in just the laning phase, Centaur is a lot weaker. He has this lifestealer kind of chase that here. So they do want to do an aggro duel. Depending on what SVG is up to. SVG is usually your eye on. NP is very greedy, and it all comes together when SVG is able to make all.
And this is amazing already here at the start. Zoning out Sumail, he got the ward for himself as well. He's going to ensure that Eternal Envy has a good start to this game at least. You certainly need it, particularly on the Shadow Fiend. Excellent build. Yeah, it should end up being a fairly even matchup. Do you think that there's any kill potential if you have that Earth Spirit roaming into this lane, though?
Absolutely. I think there could be kill potential on the SF. He's a rather vulnerable hero to ganks, but this is where the aggro duel and aggro tri-lane come in sense, right? Is that they're going to make sure these supports can't roam in. So SVG's job is, first, make sure that the SF is able to get his initial amount of souls, so he has no problem CS. And then next is going to be locking down those supports in top lane to ensure that it remains a 1v1 for both the mid and the safe lane. This is how NP plans to win potentially all three lanes.
If you're able to respond to this, so far the Invoker pretty far behind, but he will be able to catch up as time goes on. Arteezy, meanwhile, up here on the top on his Slark, has been able to not CS super effectively either against MSS, but with the rotations that are coming in soon, like can they find any kill potential up in this top lane, or is it just try and secure whatever farm you can?
I think it's more about pulling for EG and getting the extra experience to their level 2 and preventing NP from being too aggressive on this flank. This is what the Silencers spamming out that Arcane first and burning through the MSS already has the usage.
Mid again, we're just keeping our eyes on this one because I want to see how these early heroes that are very momentum based, particularly the Shadow Fiend, and Eternal Envy able to push Sumail back up onto his hill here, going to throw out a couple raises to boot. He's having a great time in this lane.
Yeah, he really
oh my
is.
god,
In
is
fact,
this... Ooh, no mana for that third.
He just 4 mana short, even threatening that salve. Sumail, I'm sure Sumail is going to feel like a little bit pressured by this and not going to lose it. But I think he is one of those players where if you challenge him in the laning phase, he's going to bite back real hard. So Envy's got to be careful not to overextend himself and let himself potentially odd out by a rapid rotation. That would be the utmost danger. Laning phase, we've got too aggressive.
Envy already off to a good start, but they are going to roam into this now. The crush is going to be their one raise. Will they have enough to bring him down? No, the right clicks, they do get the first blood. Eternal Envy, with a little bit of help from SVG, takes down Sumail.
Yeah, great stuff. SVG making the right time for that rotation. Unfortunately, Evil Geniuses, they do have defensive wards that should see a lot of aggro triumph. Tried that did get caught out by Bill. He is, as he pretty much always does, right? Has this consistent all of that.
Oh, the bottom lane. We haven't had a ton of chance to talk about it as of yet, but Lifestealer off to a good start, as you mentioned, against that Centaur. Is this something where you need to just try and get up that level 6 as quick as possible? Is there any chance that you'll have MSS going to roll in? Slow down. The Arcane Curse continuing to get the slow, but there's Dazzle to top him off and should be able to.
Dazzle is such a great aggro duel. Able to push out the wave and then pull from the hard camp, giving you extra. Also able to provide you that extra amount of. Caught again.
Maybe in some trouble here. They turn with the cold snap. The Sunstreak is not quite going to be on the mark. They're going to jump in with crit as well. Sumail is already dead though, and crit taking a lot of damage out of boot as well after that. This is a really great start for NP.
And a TP out from that top lane by MSS as he gets a bit low from the pounce. So they don't even take advantage of the fact that support was mid. You know, the support showed on mid. They immediately try and do something up at their top lane, but they NP is just kind of running away with the laning phase. but it's not all doom and gloom for Evil Genius. Some of this is expected. First is going to be a bit down in CM against the Lifestealer, but Centaur is an offlaner who enjoys farm. He takes advantage of the farm that you give. So while the 1v1 is favorable for N, it's also not terrible for you yourself, right? Be able to get that faster blink dagger, get those higher solo levels, and this 1v1 does allow him, even at the cost of a...
Yeah, and also thinking forward to when you get that level 6 up on Silencer and you have that incredibly strong initiation of just blink in, get the hoof stomp, drop global, kill everybody to death. It feels like that's still something that they're going to be able to fall back upon once they get that initial farm up and online. But meanwhile, Universe is smoked up. They're getting ready to something here, but Envy very, very cautious on the other side, and SVG there to be the combo breaker as well. Happen. Rolling Boulder in gets broken, and SVG just going to be able to walk out of that. So really heads-up play by SVG to come in, and now maybe they can even take down Crit. He needs to be a little bit careful getting body blocked in the stun. They are going to be able to find that crush, and there's the heal bomb to take him down. 3-0 start for NP. They're looking fabulous.
NP looked really sick. I mean, you saw the way they knew this rotation was coming, right? And it's an unusual one to move the Centaur out of lane before you have the level 6, but Lifestealer immediately pinged, hey, the Centaur's gone. They're probably making a rotation. NP plays the hard left-hand side of this camp to make sure that he's not going to be caught out as they wrap around the trees. That SVG moves in a way to be able to break potential. I think in many ways, he was just lucky that he got also be blocking the boulder like that, but that's just strong positioning combined with right time, right opportunity that manages to get third kill in the game before Evil Geniuses pick up their own.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, it's a bit of luck, but it's also there with the skill and the recognition. Could be something happening. So mixture of being prepared, and just really good stuff so far from NP. For EG, are they that worried about this really bad start? Do you think that this is a team that has the potential to catch back up as the game goes on?
I mean, Evil Geniuses, I think, has always been it. But it is going to be difficult.
This is a good way to make it happen, though. You can find a kill here onto Envy, and this is so great for them. Although it does look like they end up sharing.
That is, I mean, that's just the hard part about an Earth. You can see these rotations, you can put mid wards up all you want, but the initiation range of an Earth is so long that he can just approach straight through the lane and catch you off that way. So you know, Envy might have been a little bit far away, but I think this kind of inevitable that Earth Spirit will find it open against your. What I do think is that Evil Geniuses are going to have to rely heavily on. But NP with this laning, I think they're really going to get a lot of opportunities. Probably just grew out quite a bit. If you watch NP play a very defensive play, that's going to be hard for Evil.
Is just sitting up here as well, hanging out, and has an okay time, and he has been able to farm for himself. He's third in net worth right now, hasn't been killed at all, 49 CS, and this is again one of those heroes that can take off in a strong fashion if you are able to find a couple of those first couple picks. Do you imagine it's the type of Shadow Blade game? Is that pretty much Clark now?
I think he will have to pick up the Shadow Blade because through some of these here, will have the opportunity to get pickoffs. I think Smasher is going to be one of the left out in the side. Ow. I was about to say, if he hits the Sunstrike there, he'd be pretty low, but Envy did have the haste.
Not wanting to drop a Sunstrike, then not a... Heading back towards jungle, farming up a little bit more, right? Stun coming out from SVG. Well, you talk about that initial group up that you might end up seeing. Do you feel like the onus is on either team to really get stuff done earlier? Like Stampede can that mitigating factor where you can get in up close when you otherwise wouldn't be.
I think some of the early game, 5 to 10 minutes, it's more on Evil to be able to make openings, then to be able to find pickoffs and stab with Beastmaster, slow down some of their mid game. Because you don't want to let a Beastmaster farm up and connect with have his blink. That's going to be too rough, especially for Clark. RTZ also is going to have to make some moves, some aggressive maneuver around. Get some of those kickoffs that you alluded to. Very much ball off of picking. But the problem is, you could see NP are playing plays off the offlane camp. Have your supports, especially your actually hovering around it or offlane, and no one really. It's a life stealer. Like, what happens if you don't hit that silent fast, right, on the Ursa Grid? What if you don't hit that kick in time? Rages with it. Just a wasted. So NP feel pretty confident about being able to whatever E.
Setting up right now for us, try and get something more than just reactive on deck for themselves. They have to wait for that backpack timer to kick in, but Aoi ready to jump inside somebody and possibly hop out, find a kill here onto Xiao. It would have been great for them to get the Slark, but he's very cautious right now in his move. Back behind the tower.
Yeah, this is a pretty classic rotation. That's why a lot of these safe capable of junglers will abandon their lane pretty much always by 10. Don't want to be caught up by one.
They're on to him, but maybe even going to be able to turn this back around. They're on to Zai instead. Sungrave comes down, and they are able to kill up MSS, but they're able to find Zai in return. And that was going to be a TP out, so nothing else lost in that engagement.
Look at bottom. Smoke Gank might be able to catch out SVG.
Dire's bottom tower.
Still very close to that well. They're going to run in, get the silence off, have the hooks off, double-edged follow, and Sunstrike to find the kill. Pick up there for you.
Yeah, this is great because they know there was significant rotations, at the very least the Lifestealer team. No, there's not going to be any heroes, any backup at bottom lane. They just want that 3 kills. They'll slow down the Blink Dagger for Jet Floridar, and it'll also get the Blink Dagger up. And this is where the timing, where Evil Genies play a lot more aggressive and hit their pickoff height. Not sure if they can really go towards where the Lifestealer is, but the Beastmaster and SF, like, #1. Rotate, find him in the jungle, pick him off, especially since
right now, MSS, he's been smoked up for a little while and might run by his shrine, though. A couple of seconds earlier, that might have been a kill. Now it's looking less and less likely. They are still pressuring along this top lane, though, side of NP. And if they wanted to, they could apply a little bit of pressure up there. They have to come back at some point. Bottom lane is starting to get taken down by
yeah, Universe, he starts running down there, but he realizes NP they're completely at the beginning of that bottom lane. This is the power of the Beastman. Early pushing power, let alone. You don't really have too many tools to deal with this.
God, they're getting ready to go in, though. And Crit, he is going to try and go for the kill. SVG already dead at the very start of this one. Rolling over forward. They also have the blink forward. Universe going to be able to take down 1437. So just like that, the push is stopped in tracks. They did a lot of damage to that tier 2.
Envy makes the right play off of that, seeing Heroes rotate up to top lane to protect safe lane tower and make sure RTZ doesn't get harm while they also. But I think that really was just a little bit sloppy there. I think they got ahead of themselves and kind of felt like, oh, we're actually going to be able to take this tier 2. They're not going to. They spread out a bit too much. The Slardar got picked up.
Now they're on top of the Shadow Queen, so NP going to drop in this bottom lane. It's very good early on for NP, and a couple of minutes been a little bit shaky. We always knew that this is something that could happen.
This is the danger of allowing Evil. Them initially winning that top fight allows them to set up an opportunity bottom, and when you run around the map, like, it's so much worse now since it's changed to the team. So you got to be really careful about where you TD out to. Safe lane SF is out there. He's isolated. You've got to make sure that your allies do have the TP.
Offlaners. MSS is smoked up, ready to make something happen with the Slardar as they get themselves into position down here bottom and trying to get good. They are going to commit the roar and the stomp at the same time. Double stun for double kill. Not able to get in on the action, but they're ready to push him.
I think Grit's pretty happy with that. Like, he tanked a smoke gank. He made sure that RTZ was able to dodge that and get up. Fine, he's going to have his Shadow Blade. So, that's actually not important. NP, though, since they made this kind of rotation, they got the takeoff they wanted to make the most out of it by pushing down the tower immediately. But it does look like Evil Geniuses are going to tank this top lane tower.
I like this movement, though. You look at it, you've got MSS, who's got his 2 points up right now into the
Bottom tower.
passive, getting that increased hack speed, able to kind of move around with him, keeping it. There is some split potential that you have to deal with, but it's not as if Slark is going to be barreling down towers and taking them aggressively.
Certainly not, right? That's not a NP. They can, for the most part, pretty deep about them. I think they want to protect their mid, where you could clutch control. Slark in his Shadow Blade, he's really reliant on people. Some of these outer towers are very
closer now, the Slardar 2 hit dagger. Still a little ways away, and he also picking himself, see if he can pick off, but nobody's farming over on this side of the map. What do you feel like the next couple of minutes look like for each? Well, there's going to be a pick off there as Slardars gets down.
well.
Right before his
I think that's step number one. They need to make sure that Blink Dagger doesn't happen first. Once they have that vehicle, a lot scary. Like the Slark. Slark is not going to be as comfortable split pushing because, you know, a lot of times he just doesn't want to sit there right because he creeps. He wants to dark pack. If he's using right, it means acceptable to rush. So they need to try and slow that down as much as possible. And time they finish that Blink Dagger, they use that to smoke up with a Light Stealer and go for some sort of gank while the other map. They get that successful gank and translate that into. So most of the time you're going to be looking at one tower, potentially rope.
Oh, and just picked up the ED here as well from Envy. So this is a really great timing. They are all grouped up now. Thinking about going in to make something happen. They're going to throw in one stone at the very least. But Roche just died in a second. And now you're looking at an Aegis here on Envy. They've got that first Necro book up and online. I'm struggling to see how you can deal with this push.
Oh, I don't think they really can. I mean, they do not have global silence. Definitely don't fight right now. They gotta just give up their tier 2, unless they find the right kind of opening. You know, Universe sees an opportunity. Stomp. Unless that happens, there's no sense.
Have a courier coming in right now. Have a Blink Dagger on it, and now this is a really big timing here. They're going to get the stun on the Light Stealer. Something they can follow. They're trying to drop it down, but he gets the frame ball at the last second, and just going to be able to armlet toggle away from this one. Has the lead. The very clear retreat together as a team. NP, easy Dota.
A little bit, right? Especially inside the SF. Maybe afraid of second Sunstrike. Keep it out there somewhere, or maybe the Slark comes in, bursts him down. Does mean the fast is on cooldown for another. It's not too bad though. And he still want to try and keep up the tempo though. They try and take out the rest of these. The one thing you have to make sure of though is you start pressuring into not let the split push you much, as well as the invoke. What these heroes want to do is they split push you a whole bunch, so then you naturally have to break apart in order to deep it, and then you find your opportunity.
Still does look like this is a lineup that can punish that bending the very heavily. Likewise, and if they're knocking on your high ground, it doesn't matter how much you're split pushing at this point. There's still tier 2s up on each sidelines, and mid tier 1 is still up and online. I'm looking at this right now and seeing a lot of trouble with that Aegis there. And I mean, can NP think about threatening high ground even? Strike out, and he ends up dying to that one. So, well, so much for that Aegis.
Yeah, and maybe Evil Geniuses are okay with taking a team fight because they still have global silence. As NP retreat, they have to be, and I like this, right? They're being very disciplined about their play. They're not splitting up too much and leaving opportunities for to catch them out. But they're actually taking.
This is going to be a great one. Right as Dark Pack comes down now, RTG. Oh, he gets the Shadow Dance off. Able to escape from that one, trying to get the Stampede out. A double hoof stomp. Universe could escape from that one. Earth Dagger, they can maybe punish this. Not sure if he needed to go in on that instance, and now he doesn't have Stampede to get away. Universe is going to fall. So a little bit of back and forth going on there, but they do get the Slark out at the very least.
Man, that was such a smart rotation, right? They backed up just enough to kind of be out of danger, right? There's no chance of EG chasing them, catching them while they're trying to D out. But they make this very fast rotation into mid. Enter, they were so close to getting that kill.
Yeah.
They were mid-swing on two of their heroes. But either way, right, it created the space because they got the Centaur kill after this, and then on top of that, top lane as well as mid lane still pretty well pushed in. Evil Geniuses have, and as long as they don't make any mistakes, all they have to worry about is their execution. It's going to be the next difficult. Controlling the game is like the first obvious step of this draft.
Slippery enough,
Get control and build up a bold lead. The next really hard part to execute Lyrical is going to be going high ground. Against Evil Geniuses, they're pretty good on their spacing when it is going to be a bit difficult and probably reliant.
A soldier's
We'll have
fortune.
to watch that next fight that's sure. In the meantime, we do have Slark going back for a Lincoln Sphere. And this sort of is reminiscent of one of the games we cast earlier. But it feels like if they can get over this hump of the, the very strong timing you have from NP, maybe then you have you get out of control with the Slark, with the Invoker picking up the item levels. I feel like that's the case, or is it something where if NP break like one lane barracks, they're just going to end up being able to...
I'm pretty sure if they break one lane on barracks in the next, it's almost kind of over, just because you should be able to control the other half. One lane always pushes build.
Dire's middle tower is
But
under
this is
attack.
why Evil Geniuses get aggressive and they can't let Evil NP because NP also has
Radiant's
really
bottom
good high
tower
ground,
is under attack.
right? The SF is quite notable as he's decently tanky and beat on that tower with high amount of physical. Beastmaster's great at breaking towers, and so is a Lifestealer. Those pokes at the tier 3 run up, you rage, and then you back up. NP have a lot of options in that regard, so Evil Geniuses can't just sit back and go, well, we have high ground defense. They can't do that. NP is has a really so they gotta get opportunity. They gotta make an opportunity.
Bottom tower is
Some
under
sort of
attack.
pickoff.
I mean, they're going for it right now. Pressuring up there on the high ground. They end up going at least a little more step away, and they can Stampede as well. So they're sure the retreat, but now it needs to be a little bit careful. The tornado to lift don't have any follow-up after the fact. It looks like PG intent for the moment, since we do have Slark pushing it to bottom lane. We'll have the 3 there under the tower. And
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
I like that EG on board about that tier 3.
another rate pop up. He's all down now.
Yeah, with Stampede down, and there's still Global Silence up, but Stampede was a pretty big ability, so I like the fact that he used that opportunity. They can finish it up in the next 30 seconds and open up shrines that'll be huge. It'll be worth the loss of that tier 2 bottom and potentially.
Radiant's middle tower.
Makes it so tough about the Slark too is because you can't threaten as much as other heroes, and now they're just stepping forward. Eviscerate Universe. He was gone in an instant. And now with the tier 3 going to go down, you mentioned it, there's the shrines. They're even flirting with the idea of sticking around and do some more damage to those barracks, but they do finally back out now.
Radiant's middle
Man,
tower.
really impressive display from NP, and this opens up afterwards.
Yeah, absolutely. Roche is not too. The shrines are open, so they can take away this Roshan shrine. This is all. I mean, again, I'm just really impressed by how disciplined they were. They gave a lot of respect to each. We knew that Centaur didn't have buyback, but they said it's not a good idea to go. It does have buyback. We go into a bad team fight that could be controlled that we have right now. Way. So they're going to back up, just kind of control the map a little bit, and wait towards the next objective, get the second agent.
Time. It's really, I would say, disciplined play from it. Doing all the things that they, none of the things that would end up putting them in a deficit. Time, are still struggling to find, I guess, pickoffs at this point. Arteezy's been able to get a lot of farms from him, has the completed Lincoln's thinking about going back for the Scotty. What's that item that he gets into that allows him to start taking over the bed? Is it?
It's usually the Scotty.
Okay.
It's usually that like third item that you pick up that finally says Scotty, but it's that third item that says, I am now a decent right clicker in fights and I'm gonna get worse. Before that, he's just totally pick-off oriented. But as you can see, might die here.
Oh my god, he gets the Dark Pact off as well as the ulti. That was very close to dying. Be able to escape from that one. So Smoking doesn't end up working out.
Did you see what MSS did? Did you see that one play he did?
Oh, he tried to roar the...
Yeah, he was looking for the roar on the neutral
Oh.
to see if he can get that same exact play he did against BSJ.
Yeah.
Yeah. So NP sticking together, making sure they don't let any pickoffs happen. Stick together, move towards the bottom half of the map, clear through that jungle area. They didn't. They get the shrine, focus on the tier 2. Then they're gonna probably just reset again. Set up for is actually gonna be up now. So I'm not sure how comfortable gonna be going if each off the map. They don't really want to have an agent. But then again, I guess I'll look
Radiant's top tower
Really
is
bad.
under attack. Dire's
Another
bottom
thing to
tower
mention, we
is
have
under
the Blink
attack.
Dagger that's been broken up a couple of minutes ago. He ended up going for the 1 extra talent, so he does become a little bit more of a with 4 up and cross as well as max out extra. But it's still sort of dependent upon their ability.
Dire's bottom tower is
But
under
it does a
attack.
good job of spending them out as well. To see some split pushing probably from. Is there any way that they can start to take, like, what's the dream fight look like for each? Them initiating possibly the Dazzle?
It really is going to have to be a fight. Because it's actually a team fight, right? Not just a pick-off, then advantage, and then running down. It's got to be like a multiple-man hoof stomp. And I think it's probably like you just try and kite the lifestealer. Got 1, 4 staffs, and a third coming in on the spirit. So they kite the lifestealer and they burst down the SF. That's your go-to. But you also have the dazzle.
MSS here might get caught out. They spot him. There's the initiation that comes out. Global as well to follow. MSS is going to die. It looks like they're also able to take out the Dazzle at the start of the fight. You fall a little bit off the mark, but still, Aoi is forced out of here. Eternal Envy trying to pop the ulti. Not doing a ton of damage off the back of this, and it looks like now EG trying to bail. They've already found 2 kills, but don't want to take this fight too much further, and they will be able to kite themselves out of this. So, really great teamfight execution, that one.
Yeah, that was kind of perfect, right? They ran into a Beastmaster that was by himself. It was all due to the fact that Evil Genius took like a very fully wrapped with their smoke all the way around behind, because normally you would expect the heroes to go straight on pit, in which case pop that smoke on the ground, but now he has the opportunity to steal away the danger.
Really great stuff here, and this would put so much of a hamper onto NP. Well, they're coming to contest this. Tornado lifts up on the line. This is so tenuous here.
Yeah. AG are doing the right play. They have to poke and burn through the mana and stuff like that. Despite some hard to them take NP, they're not making too many mistakes whatsoever in their positioning. There's very few opportunities to make a good jump. So NP take the Aegis and can now look to go towards high ground. I'm trying to think if they want to control the map a little bit more first before they go high ground. There's no reason to.
Well, it's interesting too. The gem just now picked up by the Silencer as well, I believe. So now you've got another way to try and shut down some of this vision. You know, with the Hawk, with all of the wards. They have a ward that's now over by the tier tower in the bottom lane. So they're getting good vision up, and that's really allowed the map to.
Yeah, a lot of times these gems come in when you. Oh, I can't actually. But they're going to get into a spot. It's pretty much right now. It's going to. NP are going to start closing off most of the map. They're going to try and make it so they're very short distance. So all the lanes are pushed in, and you just kind of like bounce from lane. And the only way that EG are really going to be able to push out if they don't have smokes is going because there's no vision. This is where that gen comes. To take away that aggressive vision, make sure they can't see your rotations outside of the base because you can't just sit up. Right. Otherwise, MP themselves a large enough deficit over EG that it won't even late game a Slark versus 5K. Shadow Fiend is going to blow most of the
Trying to take him down. The crit stone. They're not going to be able to get him, it looks like this time. Bash not on one as of yet. Slark is. Now that is Stampede down. What is it going to take where MPs start to feel confident to really pressure up? Is it just once all?
It's pretty much a play like that. A failed rotation means that if you look at it, Evil G's all on the right-hand side of the map. Bottom lane is not a threat. Right, so they're gonna have mid pushed in, they're gonna have top pushed in, have all the lanes kind of where they want to be, so they feel comfortable going high ground without trading away a tier. So RTZ tries to push out the lane as much, but honestly he knows there's no chance of it has to be there. Gameplay, this is where Evil G, they'll hold or break.
Tough as well. Butterfly completed a little while ago for Envy. Is got the range, all the range. And well, they're gonna get a nice little stun combo here. They're gonna be able to follow us. They don't need to burn the mana. Don't want to have to pop into the feed that one, but he's out of mana now. Looks like that's just gonna be that Barracks going down. Not a great way to stop it. Snap follow. Jump in, gets the lead.
Still does have it. They're able to catch on to 3 off to the side, and now Lifestealer is just all over them.
Does look like they're going to be able to get this melee Barracks in. Well, just like that.
Here, they're thinking about turning this back around. Lifestealer actually is going to end up falling. They take down Envy as well, so that's 2 already dead. Envy were looking so good a second ago, and now potentially going to end up losing more. Oh, the stun combo right out of the Aegis. Wasn't able to get the BKB off the get, and Envy is going to fall.
They almost take down Arteezy with the Death Requiem, but my God.
Oh my God, Lyrical, I was so ready to praise NP so much for their disciplined play, the fact that they weren't making, mistakes when it comes to positioning and fights. They were, even under the pressure of all the poke that was happening from the FPSF, separated on the high ground. No one came too close. They got that 3-man crush, and it looks like they even might die. But that was all fine, well, and good. But what happened there is, I think, what is big is Envy on his own.
Right.
If you saw it, like, they jumped forward, Envy got super low, and they managed to save it, right? And they had the second life, and what they wanted to do was kind of reset. They wanted to keep this Aegis, see if they could reset, play off of a Shrine or something, come back in. And EG know well enough, right? They know they have to pursue, they have to fight while the SF's low. And right there, Envy pops his BKB, thinks, I'm gonna get off the Requiem, and then when he comes back up, he's stunned, is just on a whole bunch. He pops BKB and gets off his ultimate there. Maybe he can actually fight it out well enough that he can get away from that situation, and they keep the SF alive and everything. Hey, from there, but the fact that he didn't have that match too was.
God. And yeah, you can see, I mean, if they don't have that BKB, if they so much control. Particularly for all the stuff that Invoker's got for himself. I believe that he's pretty close now towards that max out Invoker kit. Yeah, he's got all levels currently in Crosswalk, so he's just going to become a terror. Does go back for the Lincoln Sphere as well at this point. I don't know. I feel like it's sort of gotten to the stage where we're on the other end of the seesaw. We're definitely pulling it back and starting to take over.
I definitely agree with you. We're about even back to the 50-50 game. Spider Rack's advantage. Maybe they still have a slight advantage, but it's very worrying for them that Evil have some of these lane heroes that kill threats in team fights, whereas go they really not quite what they wanted. Like playing around high ground air.
For Aaron, well, not quite able to connect on that. again. Oh my God, they're so close.
Sumail, I mean, to be fair, that double damage would mean an opportunity for NP. He playing maybe big hockey. I'm always going to be able to blink before they can. Probably true, right? Lordar has to best pop out.
Quite time perfect. Well, anyway, so. In the meantime, we talked a lot about the ways that NP to sort of play very disciplined and stuff, but at a certain stage, do you kind of worry about losing that momentum? Do they need to try something at any point?
They didn't before. And, you know, they went high ground pretty naturally. It all felt good, but now they're going to have to start towards it a little bit more.
Well, the counterplay, they drop out the roar, going to be able to connect. Global Silence comes down. The BKB's already been popped for our Eternal Envy, though, and they're trying to chase it out on the north side of the fight. It does look like SVG is going to drop his mail. So mega kill streak for him, and with that, it does look like back out. I think NP are kind of okay with that, losing they lose global.
And it could have been a whole lot worse considering the way they failed their
It's up now on Dazzle. They're dropping in a little bit here. Mana, but alive.
Hurricane Pike. Might have to give up. Yeah, that could have been so much worse if we actually went back and did that individual fight. They ulted, they roared, and a Centaur got force staffed pretty much as the world himself got him out of that. So that target was cool. And then they also popped down the advanced life stealer. They popped out of the Slardar before he actually blinked forward. So what ended up happening is now he spent pretty much his whole entire rage timer just running.
Yeah.
He's just running to try and catch heroes because he's so far behind.
Yeah, this is a big one. Right after he ends up respawning, they're able to take him down again. So Evil Geniuses in another great position to keep the pressure onto these objectives, and they've been able to find the Dazzle. Dominating streak for Arteezy, and I mean, Abyssal Blade done now. Ended up going for that instead of the Scotty. I think that's a really good decision in this game, and they're looking down the barrel of possibly being able to take that tier 2.
Great at turning up the pressure when they know they have an advantage, and you're seeing that now. He is definitely on the side of things. Should be looking pretty good to take control of the game. They're probably not, you know, we're not looking at an end game scenario any soon. Probably not for another minute. Maybe with this game. He's obviously
Oh my God, they're getting into position right now where they want to come and take this fight. Aoi walk in, lead in the charge. They're in on top of Roach. They spot him out already, trying to take it down. Able to snatch the Aegis is Sumail, but BKB comes out. Envy drops the Requiem Soul. Maybe going to be able to bring down Sumail. That is going to be the Aegis already down. Can they make any more of it? They're already here on top of SVG, able to get out actually with that Slither and Crush. It looks like Rick trying to turn out onto Envy. He does not have any BKB left. Sumail is also going to get the Eul Scepter, trying to escape, and will be able to run away. It's going to barely be able to survive from that. Oh my God, he's so low, but is going to die to the boars. Value right there coming out from MSS's blue boars, and Arteezy maybe going to end up falling to boot here. Right clicks coming through. That was a wonderful team fight for NP, and it continues over to the side. Healers jumps back in. They're able to take down Envy. Somehow they turn this back around, and now Arteezy's coming back into fight. The kite battle is going to continue, and with Rick coming in, he's going to be able to jump now onto Aoi, who is going to start to fall. Rage timer going to wear off in a second, and then they've got a stun. Drop the crit, I believe. Stun, silence combo, and that's going to be the kill. Unstoppable streak. So they do end up getting not the last hit on Roach, but what a fight.
Oh man, there were so many like small little things that worked out to the favor of either NP or EG. And I think one of the funniest things was Sumail on his second life. He blinked over, and the ancient camp woke up. Those prowlers or whatever, the one that locks you down, it locked down Sumail.
Oh my
next to the
God.
ancient camp, and now he was just kind of blessed. He was like, oh, I'll just run up and start right-clicking you. Sumail had Yules himself, all sorts of things. But, that was very close team fight, but in the end, it was a team fight that NP needed to win badly. They have to actually reset things. This is the danger. Slark, you know your game when you win Slark. When you have an advantage, you just keep pushing, right? You keep utilizing that regen to just keep being in the enemy space, to keep racking up those stats. What NP need to do is just let those stats fall. They
He's got
need
30 right now.
Yeah, exactly. They need to let that 90 agility he's holding on to right now just to go away. So NP just gotta chill a bit, wait for another opportunity. Not like EG has aged high ground. You need have time to make yourself plays to try and build some opportunity, takeoffs or.
And I mean, thinking about the gold graph and the way that this is around over the last couple of minutes, look at the way that the top heroes have switched around throughout the past couple of minutes. It's very clear that this was always going to be a possibility. 1,000 experience lead at the This is. I'm trying to figure out, you know, that you talk about reset, but also at some point you gotta get more than just a rain barracks up there at the top.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But I think this again goes back to the idea. Right, yeah. Is that you always have the plan A. Ideally, you know, you're able to close out that laner Brax by 30 minutes with the second Aegis and go to the second laner Brax by 40 minutes. That's in your head, the ideal. You bump things up a little bit out and they don't have too many other options but slowing the game down. I'm not saying they don't need to run away from team, but the first plan kind of failed, right? You weren't able to, in the ideal time, for the Slark in the input.
Feels like it always has to be off the back of the net. You can't go in for the targets you have. Maybe eventually you get into a couple items to break it, to go for this initiation. They've been able to find one. Actually, Arteezy in a lot of trouble, but can they get the counterplay? Sumail jumps forward, gets a tornado onto two. There's going to be the hook stomp coming out as well, and it looks like for the moment they're controlling MSS. On the other side of the map, 1437 forced to grave himself. They're trying to back out, able to jump away from that tornado. Very low, and the force staff away. Like they're trying to find this. They get the roar off as well. Everybody needs to back out, though. Eternal Envy standing tall in front of his MP brothers. Arteezy looking for the kill himself. Another big hook stomp, and Nano will find two. Can they bring him down, though? The counterplay is going to be able to control and kill off Crit there. But it looks like Arteezy is going to end up falling. Eternal Envy just too strong in this game with the triple. That tornado cooldown is quite good, but NP still win the fight.
A big Daedalus hit there. Man, I'm surprised that NP didn't just fall apart the way that team fight went out. The fact that they weren't able, they countered Arteezy, right? He went for this kind of weird kind of poke at Beastmaster, thought maybe he was alone, and immediately got countered. And them failing to get that kill, I was like, oh no. They're just going to kind of get hide. As they try and move backwards, right, you're going to get Burst Spirit hit. You saw the way it happened, right? You're like, tornadoes coming in, and EG, if they're trying to poke and prod and find these openings, Universe hits this big stun, but Envy just big, and part of it was Envy's positioning and the way he separated himself from his team to make sure that he was the one between his team and heroes like Sumail's Invoke, right? That Invoker couldn't get through that back line. Lay out some of those devastating spells off of a Centaur initiation because Envy was always in the way with high HP, magic immunity.
I think in that fight recap, I saw he blinked 4 times or something in the space of that fight, which blows my mind. Like, he's trying to get desperately into a position to, you know, find an angle onto somebody else's side. That's now. NP possibly have pulled themselves into a spot where they can push for high ground. 18 seconds with no Arteezy. They push quite quick.
This is a tornado that is so effective. Level 25 got the final.
More comes out, me falls down as well onto the Life Stealer. Crit's going to take a lot of damage. Actually, Crit onto Crit for 1,000. Down to half HP off one right click. Oh my god. And now they have to back out. This is the scary part. 37 still getting chased out. Over Kate. There's the counterplay though. They drop the global as well. Right clicking him down. Can they find it? Sumail, he's almost dead here. It does look like he will finally fall. Mega kill streak for Eternal Envy. It looks like, well, able to back away. Okay. Earth Spirit buys back. Universe, maybe gonna drop. They have found him. And in the end, able to find a couple of core kills. And it looks like actually Sumail is going to be cutting the replay as well.
Yeah, Sumail pulled out some fancy footwork there to be able to get out of that one. But again, it's NP, like so many other teams would eventually get caught in a mistake that as they have extended forward, they back out, they get caught by the tornado, they get caught by some sort of but NP still makes decisions.
Sumail did bots up to the top. They don't have a chance to fight. They are going to die. Oh man, Arteezy takes a ton of damage. They're trying to go for the counterplay, but they're going to end up losing Melee Barracks. Maybe going to find some more off the back of it. Envy, Glimmer Cape for the moment still staying alive here. It does look though like they've been able to turn it a 3-person Slither and Crush again. Envy trying to force this issue. They will back out after taking that Melee Barracks. Lift up, MSS still in some trouble. They find the kill on Shadow Fiend. Maybe gonna find more. It was looking good for a second, but now MP losing 3, gonna lose 4. EG end up making the most of it in spite of losing the barracks.
Yeah, they really did. Again, it's just the problem with this tornado. When you're able to have it on a 9-second cooldown, you're able to throw it as the team goes into high ground to try and hit on the rack, set up some EN sort of play or something like that. And then as they retreat, you're able to catch them again with that tornado. It's just this constant hope, this battle where NP, they always have to be hyper aware of where the tornadoes come, their positioning as they retreat. I think it's just so difficult to not make those mistakes, and that's why I was so impressed. And
I'm also looking at this too, it's a buyback. Shadow Fiend bought back in that last engagement. I'm assuming to get a little bit more souls, up to 27 now, so that he can actually fight a little bit more effectively. But it does mean that, you know, if they end up off Envy again in the next couple of minutes, it's going to be quite a difficult one. Looks like the tier 3 is going to drop here.
whoa,
Or stack forward, really well played. The follow-up's done. The Sunstrike will be enough to kill him. He's dead for 100 seconds, and now Envy in a ton of trouble. Howie gonna get lifted as well, but I think that this is just gonna be eyes on the prize, trying to take him down. Stunned up for the moment is Arteezy, but it looks like he still might be able to find his kill. There's a cold snap as well, 4-step away as well as the grave. Howie turns to fight with the shrine though. I think we can focus down objectives at this point if we want. He's Sumail maybe going a little bit too far forward. Oh my god, he got away on nothing there again. Oh baby, this is quite bad with still 80 seconds, and they know that Shadow Fiend can't come back.
yeah, this is the rough part, is that a Slark will just back out of vision, heal up, and then he's going to be the one to start hitting those racks. Sumail can also play off the flag clock and just start moving up, so he's got plenty of time to play with here.
That's looking for the play. There's the roar, but there are so many force staffs. They're not going to be able to catch him. Now they don't have roar. Now they're going to turn on MSS. Force staff away. It's Universe. A force staff away from the Sunstrike, but he's still going to get turned upon here by Arteezy. Great to keep him alive. Trying to get the kill. Trying to pop as well. They're able to take that one. That's actually Sumail dying. So maybe they can find one here. Zai turned upon another hook stomp. Fights have just gone on for an entire game, it feels like. Arteezy finds the pounce and the leash onto Lifesteal. Another grave coming out from 1437. Lift up now on MSS. The meatball is going to drop as well. Not quite dead as of yet. They're going to be able to back out. Sunstrike hits it. Oh, what a play. Oh, another lift up. They're trying to force this issue so hard. Envy is still dead for another 15 seconds. They're holding on to these barracks like none other. You guys are going to die to this. Right clicks coming through. No, the Arteezy, they got the kill. There's the lift up and the shoot down.
Oh, Sumail's a sniper, man. He just picked off 2 different kills now at like 2,500 range. And he saved Arteezy with that buyback, right? They had Arteezy dead. He was no mana. He was slowed down. He couldn't get anywhere, but Sumail came in with that buyback, created the space to allow Arteezy to actually retreat, and it ends up being a great run.
Oh yeah, and we talked about that as you game. He's up to 35, and now that allows him to steal early on. So NP, they hold their barracks, but it's at a damn big cost as well. And thinking about all of the buybacks that were used in that engagement, and who actually has it at this point too, we're getting to a situation where I'm really concerned for NP to hold this.
I think Evil Genius got Cheese and Aegis and still the stats, so I guess they could. But I wouldn't mind if they just kind of chilled out for like 2 or 3 minutes. Most of their heroes are on a 3-minute buyback cooldown. Universe, 3 minutes. Zai's Silencer, 3. And then Arteezy. So just, you know, they have the Aegis, have Cheese, they have great opportunity to close out this game, but if it does go wrong, right, you're going to think to your...
Yeah, no, definitely. A little bit cold in the players' room for Envy's.
I mean, Envy does have those notorious cold hands, right?
That's true. That's fair enough. What a game so far. And, you know, and again about the way that the graph has sort of looked throughout the whole game. Had the ups and the downs. We are going to be back underway at this point in
Just look at that grab, it's gone crazy. 5,000 still into the favor of EG, but it feels like one team fight, and it could all be over for either.
I mean, just think about the many, many, many times that RTZ walked away with less than a quarter base, right? That he was able to get off that last second. And think about how that builds up. Had died that first time. Also died. And even situations like Sumail, he also got out so many times on less than a quarter of HP. Just one more disable and he would. But NP, and I love this game, but I feel like NP, they played really well, and they just, you know, EG just disruptive enough to be able to stop that initial. They had ages in their fight. That lane tracks really takes control. But
we got an Invoker pressure as well online. Going to get to see some fireworks here in a little bit. I am excited for that one. Also, I mean, just thinking about the way that it hasn't necessarily felt like either team saying it's much more been good plays that have been the decision or the factors. And I think that this is a big wake-up call also for a lot of teams out there. Maybe I think some teams were valuing NP at this event, and they have the capabilities to play, definitely.
I mean, this is their one opportunity to prove that they are in tier one. A family qualifier F, right? This is like they've got DAC and then they're sitting on the sidelines. So they got to go into this tournament, throw everything they have into it. That way they can secure themselves. You know, if they secure themselves top 3 here, that could mean maybe you're actually invited to their tournaments, and maybe you start establishing yourself as a potential invite to PI. Instead of going through the qualifiers.
Well, NP went up there for a look to the top lane, weren't able to find anybody, and now heading back. And it looks like NP is trying to become that whirling monster of death, picking up the Satanic next. He has already hit so hard, and now he's going to be able to do it for long. Well, coming in now from Evil, like NP, tapping it, back out.
I almost kind of wonder if he should buy out the Satanic back. Like a second life, and SF is not a pure buyback hero. Souls, if you're defending base, you're not. Kind of wonder if, like, this next team fight, kind of wondering if you buy out. This game. They do have some growth. That is the one thing, is that they haven't finished up the Abyssal for the life stealer. That's critical. That kind of block. They also have shards, all those sort of things, right? So there's still significant. You didn't want to late game against Slark and Vogue. Now you're here, and you can still cast them.
The MKB is there for Slark, so he has an answer there. So, the other thing that I think I noticed is onto his boot backpack to come out.
Yeah, making sure he has the agent. I mean, he's got the boot stuff, right? He's all on Wex. Yeah, Spling Daggers. Sacrifice. They also still don't have the Aghanim. Obviously, that got nerfed.
What have we?
See the bit less priority.
Yeah, which is quite good also. High ground, just high ground.
Getting Amplify off yourself with bouncing back and forth.
Another step spotting this. Thought that NB well. Right now they would be walking under ward up on the high ground. Scouted, now our team's real. A couple ping.
Back towards. They still want to keep bottom. Give NP a quick opportunity. smoke out. Buybacks are coming back into play here. SF and Lifestealer. Teams.
I mean, the other thing that you saw there, Sumail actually finished off the sheep's health. Yeah. That's going to be another one of the items that, granted, that means he doesn't have his Blink Dagger up or some other thing up. I guess you want to keep the Refresher constantly in your shit out. Is it, or ability felt to me like it's so important at the start of these fights that you might not be able to having it in your 5 seconds.
Yeah, I mean, maybe he feels like he's fast enough that he'll be able to dive tornado and disrupt. Thanks to the heads up. I'm not totally.
Now a potential for a big fight. Now that could jump out though. Let's stop. Connect on to Owie and the Sunstrike now. Arteezy and Envy, they're going at it with each other, but now looks like they need to try and back out. I think this fight is going to heavily favor Envy if the way it's going. And well, Sumail jumps in from the other side, is refreshed up, dropped the meatball, didn't really end up doing all that much damage. And they pop back on the Earth Spirit as well. Strange collection of fighting going on, and looks like they'll be able to snag their gem back as well.
They'll get it back into their hands. NP are just happy. Buyback was forced. They made the call. In the middle of a hectic team fight, they made the call. Buyback was used just back. That was okay. They also used BKB on Startup, for example. To the Refresher Meteor combo. So Refresher down, Buyback, they're pretty happy just kind of setting. In a minute's time, going back in. I'm going to go for it now. I thought they'd wait for the pressure is going to be. Else they need to win. Or still have the record. They didn't actually use.
Envy is showing in lane, so I guess EG are still going to back out. They're just worried about us. Could go in for this though, and they're looking for initiation. Arteezy mid lane, able to get the head off. Dark Tackle is not there. Throwing the Lotus Hook, keeping him alive for the moment. Reflect the Roar as well. She's ended up getting eaten there as well, I believe. And it looks like they're able to get the counter stun now. They're controlling up Owie. Meatball is going to drop, and that's on the 2 BKB targets. MSS looking to try and find enough damage there, and they are going to be able to bring down Arteezy. Now looking for more. Zai is going to start to get ran down here, and maybe they can take him down. A tornado lift up onto Envy to slow the push. Sumail jumps in, sits on the 1. They're going to get a Tiffany Blast push back onto 2. Ice Ball as well, but another big crush comes in. SVG saving the day. Sumail able to tornado just barely away, and it does look like he's going to be able to escape with that one. Sunstrike comes down, not doing nearly enough damage. Universe is going to fall. They're going to have another tornado in a second if they want to throw it from far away, but Universe is already gone. Crit is going to be able to blink out, but NP with the momentum.
Nice initiation. That was great. That 4-man smoke showing Eternal Envy in the bottom lane like that. It gave Arteezy like just enough confidence to deal with that mid lane, and exactly where they struck. Great crushes by SVG.
Get that range get from Shadow Fiend as well. Monster at this point. They get the counter crush coming in. Meatball is going to be dropped again, and mana right now. Envy's going to pop the BKB, turns to fight, pop the Satanic as well. He's taking a lot of damage here. More to try and create that little bit of separation. You have the Ice Wall down as well, throwing up a couple here, but that's now Crit dead. He does not have a buyback. 90 seconds out in there. They're still turning on the light, so trying to bring him down. 2 seconds follow, and it looks like they aren't going to be able to have enough damage to run him down. So NP have another window here where they can go back in for another try.
And they don't have any shrines to work off of, so they'll have to just full-on retreat back to base and heal themselves up. But that was another win, right? They forced those 2 buybacks. It's got to be slow and steady. NP, they've been disciplined all game long. There's no sense in just mindlessly running into these. Again, they make the call too high. Of course, they keep their positioning and they make sure that, you know, if he defend themselves, they're ready. NP are now in a position the next 5 minutes where they have a serious win condition. If they kill the Centaur or the Slark, the game is like already 50%. You actually get that 1 kill and take that hero out of the game. Then you almost got the game, especially if you have Aegis.
Yeah, it's to the point now also where you don't feel comfortable going into contest or not. The first spirit's gone for that amount of time off the map as well, so they're able to take another objective because of that rotation at that point. So another pressure towards mid. Evil Geniuses back up against the wall. How do they take this fight?
Sumail has got to be the aggressor. He's got to be the one who sets all the initiations up. Can't let NP just walk in the face. And the reason I'm putting the pressure on him is he has the buyback. So he has the liberty to be able to go out there and try and make things happen, knowing that he has this second chance in his back pocket when his allies, none of them have buyback of it. Got to be the one to actually make the critical plays happen and lend opportunities for RTZ universe to make smart calls.
Kill it all off with the tornado they're already on top of and killing off this lifesteal. He's taking so much damage. It's going to be Clever Cape. They find a 4-man clutch, but it's not enough to save their lifesteal. They're on top of Envy at this point. 4-step forward, trying to bring him low. Is he going to end up dying here? They're going to buy back on the lifesteal, try and get him back into the fight. The crush from Universe only catches on to MSS. They get the silence to follow. But there isn't anything else there, and that is going to be another buyback for Invoker. So I feel like EG have to find something here, but it's just so hard to take this fight because now you don't have buyback on the Invoker either.
Well, Evil Geniuses do have, like, the Lifestealer did buy back and he's making his way in. So there's still a possibility that Evil Geniuses could win this defense and kill the Lifestealer and then be able to go down mid, but they can't afford to lose some of these cores. Especially RTZ.
Oh my god, they jump in as soon as Universe jumps forward and able to get him out. Trying to walk away from all of this. Cold snap there as well as a lift up from Tornado. They're just trying to hold on as long as possible.
Streets to hit.
Uh-oh.
He was hoping to get back to full HP and with that Satanic usage. That's okay, still has the HP. Wait for a couple more creep waves to come in because after all,
they open wounds that way NP could heal off of it.
Alright, they still got 2 melee Raxes left. Plenty of time on the Aegis. There's no reason for NP to rush things. Done extraordinarily well setting up themselves to get the right kind of playing the way they have and they can close out this game.
Feels like SPQ had a particularly amazing play and experience in this one, like winning mid early.
Ravaged
EG. Like over and over again. And that play also to wait until you get the crush off after the 4-staff to get his load. Really good stuff. To find another one. The high ground, actually trying to find them in the wraparound here. Spotted out by, gonna summon a boar. They have a hawk up there. But be a decent time to fight for MP, even if they got initiated. And now they realize what's going on.
They knew about it. They playing that left side. They saw the board late. Gotta be careful with this dark pack.
Enough high ground. MP actually up on the high ground himself. Try and hit down this melee barracks. They still haven't been able to do much structural damage as they might have wanted. But there's the initiation coming. He's just still there. He's going to be stunned up. Brought down in just a second. Ready to keep him alive. The counter clutch. Sumail is going to end up dying there to Owie. And now the counterplay is going to come out. They're all over him. Universe starting to fall low. Can they get another crush? That is going to be one. Trick doing his best. It's a 3-person stun and a 5-person magnetize. But it's not nearly enough, as NP are going to be able to take the team fight and potentially into the game. Oh my god, great display from Connor.
I mean, fantastic. I felt like, you know, I was thinking to myself, I was like, man, I bet I sounded like I'm just gushing over NP. But honestly, like, I was just super impressed with them. I was just like, every single time I'm watching them try and retreat. Level 25 quad spikes and Invoker is constantly throwing tornadoes at you, and I'm watching their position. Like,